wife's. Hey, Matt, how are you?
Nicholas, good morning to you.
Morning. I'm excited today.
So am I, Nicholas. And we do have a number of topics to talk about, but obviously one is, you may have heard that TikTok is rumored to shut down this weekend. As soon as this weekend.
Really?
If TikTok shuts down this weekend, Nicholas, what will you do on Monday?
Yeah, so my wife started to put a list of things that I will have to do now because it's freeing up maybe 2 hours of my time every day. So I guess I have to be mindful and trying to find new activities, but otherwise I'm going to be at the laundry all day.
Yeah, I recommend you come up with your own activities. Otherwise, she's going to give you activities.
Oh, absolutely. All right, well, why don't we get started?
All right.
All right, everybody, this is Nico with eStreamly, the company that gets you live stream and video commerce on your site, website, social media, email, SMS, wherever you are, the video is shoppable. So excited to be here. I'm with my great friend Matt from E6 Marketing, the company that gets you on QVC. We've got a lot of things to talk about today, from TikTok to NRF to store closing and more, and live shopping reports for the year. But before we go there, Matt, why don't you start the show and start telling us what are we doing here?
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you to all the watchers and viewers and listeners of the VCommerce podcast. We're here every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, and we talk about the activity or the business of selling through direct-to-consumer television. So we started with DRTV, then it graduated to QVC and HSN, which have been thriving for 40 plus years. Now you could shop anywhere, anytime on your phone, on your app, or on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer. So we cover 4 main topics each week here on the VCommerce podcast. Hopefully it will entertain you a little bit, hopefully inform you a little bit, and then you'll go about your day and your weekend knowing a little bit more than you did previously. So Nicholas, I don't remember another week with such activity. There was so much activity over the holidays in our little space. But this week was crazy.
Yeah, it was definitely crazy, right? Everyone is talking about the TikTok ban. I think you shared with me a picture that is, I think it was in the Times Square. Was like this big ad on Times Square, or?
Yeah. So today, the Supreme Court may announce their opinions if TikTok should be banned in the U.S. So the line in the sand is this Sunday. So it may be banned as soon as this Sunday, and the Supreme Court may share opinions on what is going to happen today for this Sunday. So without even diving into the, what do you think, Nicholas? Like, how is this evolution of video commerce going to change if TikTok goes away?
Well, I think it's a fascinating topic, right? I think if you look at the internet, everyone is talking about it like crazy. Everyone is like, what the world is going to end on Monday, kind of, right? But the world is not ending. There's going to be still a lot of opportunity. But I think it's a good reminder to everyone that you should own your own real estate, your own destiny, your own content, and that's really the message that we can see. Because guess what, Matt? If you look at with this ban, who have been the one benefiting, right? And we're talking about banning a Chinese app, and then the number one app that has been trending recently is another Chinese app. So it's I don't know, like it feels that we're just gonna move. So now it's so Red Book, right? I think that's the name of the app. Now
Red Note,
right? So that's the new thing where marketer will have to spend time on, and so you have to relearn a new thing and everything, and then what is going to happen to that, in couple months, a couple weeks, a couple of years from now, after all those efforts. If you look at number 2, it's Lemonade, a ByteDance company, which in my understanding was somewhat also involved with the band. So I'm kind of surprised that it's the number two. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But then, yeah, I just found it's very interesting, right? So people, I would say, group of people are migrating. The audience is migrating to different apps. But again, it's a Chinese app, so maybe there is to say something that those apps are really providing value to the users, and that's why those users are migrating from one place to another. But very fascinating place. And I think for a merchant, it's a good reminder that you should own the app. It doesn't mean you have to stop on those platforms, but it does say. Now, I will say that, as you say, the story is not ending, right? Because we heard that TikTok has planned, well, they could continue operating, not just being having new download. They've decided that on Monday, or at least they're rumored that on Monday it will be completely shut off. And when people will want to log in, they will see a black screen saying, it's over. So that's a statement that they're making. So just to make sure that everyone realize what that would do to them. So we've got this thing. Then we've got the new election coming up, the new president coming up. The inauguration is on Monday too. We know that the future president, has been keen on finding a way to maintain TikTok in place. And then we know that Supreme Court is going to do. So guess what? Maybe in a couple hours from now, nothing is going to happen. Or maybe it's on Monday, and then on Tuesday, we'll be back on again.
Yeah, so the phrase "never say never" that pops into my head. Like, even if it goes away, it might be for a day, it might be for a week, a month. Like, it could come back. To your point, once Trump is in office, you don't know what's going on. Red Note, you mentioned Red Note. That website is, I understand, it's only in Mandarin. It's in the language of Mandarin. Gained 700,000 users in 2 days after it was suggested as a TikTok replacement. So then I saw another article that said the number of US people learning the Mandarin language grew 216% in the last year. And I think this whole thing's a joke. Like, they're just doing this to like spite the government. Like, oh, if you're going to close TikTok, we're going to jump on this other Chinese owned app. Like, it's all a joke. But like, from the merchant's point of view, your point is obviously well taken. And you've said this for as long as we've been doing this podcast: own your own content. So I worry about the merchants that are just holding their breath and rely on TikTok to drive 100% of their revenue. I hope they've learned that they have to adapt. I hope they learn they have to have another plan in place to move forward, whether TikTok closes this weekend or not. They have to have other outlets to move their product, and they have to market themselves in different ways moving forward. So maybe in the big picture, maybe it's just a wake up call for all these young merchants and these young brands that have relied on social media as the sole driver of their economy.
But one thing that really, really, really excites me, to be frank with you, is within that story, Flip, which is a video commerce platform that is doing live stream and mostly Shopbo video for the most part. Their app is the number 5 today on the top chart from Apple. So and it's a US company, and I'm so excited for them because Chase Dillon is as a former TikTok guy who is the GM there, and he's doing a fantastic job, really fantastic job with his app. People loving it. I'm excited because this is interesting, right? So we've been talking that TikTok is about video commerce, it's about live shopping, it's about entertainment. And guess what? The two first apps are about what? Entertainment. But then you've got ChatGPT, and then you've got Flip, and this is about selling. So it does show really that video commerce and selling are really two strong force that are continuing and will continue to prevail for 2025. I feel very excited and empowered by that. So anyway, so just wanted to mention that because it's a shopping app, so it's amazing.
Yeah, so keep tuned into your news website all day long. See how the Supreme Court reacts today before a long holiday weekend, and it does kind of make sense that they would drop some grandiose announcement in lieu of a holiday weekend coming up that they don't have to react to for an extra day. But you spent the week at the National Retail Federation, and I've already spoken to a couple of people that were there with you, and I'm hearing it was an amazing dynamic, conference.
Yeah. So before I go and start on NRF, just a special shout out to John Thalheimer, who has been just saying hi. Obviously, for anyone that is here and listening to us while we are live, feel free to chat, comment, and tell us where you are, how things are going with you, and what you think about the TikTok or any of the news we'll talk about. But yeah, NRF, amazing show in New York. First of all, it was great because it was less cold than last year. And honestly, it does make an impact because when you go to the show and it's snow and there's so much wind and everything, it's so really awful. And it was okay. So just for that, I was very excited about this. But honestly, the show itself was just fantastic. The quality of the attendance was much better than I felt per the past, honestly. People were really excited. The video commerce space I felt was somewhat underrepresented. Honestly, from my perspective, I think there was 2 or 3 brands total that were doing video commerce, live shopping like the way we do. And then there was like 2 or 3 more folks that were doing shop or video. So I felt that the category was shrinking compared to other years. But the response from the user were very interesting from the people, from the viewers. I had brands coming to my booth saying, "Hey, we're doing live shopping in France, and we're generating over 10 million in revenue, and we're excited about this year, and we're really hoping that we are going to continue." From people that are coming and saying, "We've been doing live shopping 2-3 years ago, it didn't work, but we feel that this year somewhat is different, and we want to try again. We want to try different thing. How can we work together?" So I felt really amazing from a live shopping perspective. Now, generally speaking, if you think about the show was very much AI. I think everyone's talking AI everywhere. We start seeing a stream of AI into obviously the big guys are all adopting AI, but then you've got a lot of spin-off of small company providing AI. Next to me was a company that was actually they were taking two pictures of a customer product, and then they were driving and making it an AI video of it, like for 5-10 seconds. So very much like a Sora to animate your content. So a lot of innovation around that space, from like display that recognize you and then start to tailor a special ad or special response. There was a lot of different things going on around that. I did feel that there was 2 type of people in the crowd. There was the one that was coming not really ready on what they wanted to do. They may have a couple of meetings, and they were saying overwhelming AI. So that was kind of a problem. But you've got other folks that were really prepared. They had identified session they wanted to be on, identified merchant they wanted to be on, and they say that this is the best show in terms of like their learnings and their ability to discover things beyond AI. Because I think there's so much of AI out there that you can just be overwhelmed by it, but there's a lot of pocket of other technology and other content. And so if you come ready, you can really take on and learn. I mean, you were mentioning someone that person came and discovered RFID technology that got him really excited. So obviously those are not new technology, but they are there. But I think you need to get ready and prepare to go there. But really fascinating show.
Yeah, I talked to 2 of my clients, and one was there for the first time this year and wants to implement things that they learned from last week's show. And then the other client that I work with was there last year. She was there this week, and she implemented 3 or 4 different things that she learned from last year's NRF show into her business model. So there's a lot of learnings in there. It's obviously in the Javits Center. It's one of the biggest conference centers in the country. So I heard nothing but good things. And the AI conversation, although I agree, overwhelming, with so much information coming in about AI, the articles I read in the last couple of days it was more focused AI conversations and businesses. Now that retailers are implementing AI into their mainstream models, it's moving forward. So we knew it would move forward. And last year was like, it's a brand new thing. What's going on? This year, it sounds like retailers have experience using it. So it will continue to grow. It will continue to become.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there was some retailers sharing some use case. So we start seeing more like the reality on the ground of like what the AI can do and how it's meaningfully impacting some retailers. So that was exciting to see that. And it was not only like the big guys, right? So the smaller guys also were looking at implementing that. And I think I think one of the things that I think was very exciting from my perspective, that was said on one of the keynote, from a retailer or from an e-com perspective, you can like or dislike AI. That's not the point. But they were mentioning that when retailers, when e-commerce was just starting to be the thing, right? At the time, like couple years ago, they were starting to be the things, and then it was the thing that everyone was talking about, NRF. There was a bunch of like a divide between the people that were looking at it and then just the one that and starting to implement and try out and do things to see how that will play out for them. And then there was the one that stay on the fence. And if you look at who all the people that stay on the fence, they all went bankrupt. They were like literally showing all those companies, they all are gone except for Trader Joe's, kind of. But so if you think about it, it's like, you may not like it or you may not know where to start, but just start incrementally, explore, and then you'll find a use case that works for you. Maybe you need to invest and to continue learning, but you need to get the bandwagon while it's moving, before it's too late for your business. And I think that was kind of empowering to hear that no one's going to get it right the first time, and it's okay. So just get started. I think it was very interesting on that point of view.
And what you just said is just, isn't that the summarization of any e-com or commerce company in today's world? You have to learn and develop and continue to evolve. Otherwise, you're passed over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to bring up, and it's kind of it's a negative, but maybe you have a different take on it. Like this past 2 weeks, I've heard stories of retailer stores closing, which kind of caught me off guard. Now, last year we heard a lot about CVS and Walgreens closing doors. This week and last week we heard about Macy's and Kohl's closing doors. Now, my initial knee jerk was it's a negative thing. It's not very good. Maybe they're having a hard time. Essentially year over year sales are slipping and they're closing some of their quieter locations. But maybe it's deeper than that. I hope it is. I don't want these national retailers to all go away. How do you take these national retailers closing doors?
Well, I think we have to look at it from a slightly different lens. I think retail in general was up the last year, right? So that's a positive.
Slightly up, but they were up. Yes.
Yeah, they were up. So they were up, and I think when we think of it from a retail perspective, I think it's healthy. Honestly, I rather seeing a store closing 20 store from a footprint of maybe 300, 400, 500 store or even more than having someone going from 300 store to 5. And recently, this has been more the trend where like people were getting really struggling and get to have to push out a lot of store and closing a lot of stores. I think it's good to close some more unprofitable store, because the reality is we want those companies to be healthy. I think the retail space has to be healthy. The consumer landscape is changing. The consumer, the way they consume, the way they engage with the retail footprint is changing. And I think for those brands to close couple locations that are more unprofitable. I mean, we know that theft has been a big topic for the convenience store. We know that, and like the pharmacies and so forth. We know that insurance in some areas is just completely under the roof, and they can't do anything about this. Like, if the store is not profitable, yeah, it's gonna impact the local population going on there. But I think overall, if it benefit the overall hierarchy of the whole ecosystem of those stores, I think it's worth it. So yeah, I'm honestly, after spending some time, there's so much innovation in store right now, and how they can create innovation. I will say that something that really resonated with me. I think I told you, right, January 3rd was the day that I came back on store, and my daughter had some gift card, I think one for Ulta, one for Sephora. And like, just you go to those two stores, it's full of teenagers and Gen Zs, and they are there. They're having fun. They are making videos. They're spending time on those stores. So while maybe us millennials or like the older generation, we say, "Oh, the store are doomed and everything." Those kids, they're there and they're having fun and they're shopping and they like. I will tell you, on the third, it was like so crowded and people shopping that they had to stop to install at Sephora those mobile checkout experience that you can use with their phone. So they had built like a whole POS on the phone. So just to being able to get the flow of folks. So I thought it's exciting to see that those generation being excited with going to store. And like my daughter, like she loved going to store all the time. And it's not the same as shopping online for her. So
And I would
I think
say,
there's
it could be it's probably a lot deeper than even we're talking about. Like malls are closing, and as an example, Kohl's and Macy's used to be anchors to malls for decades and decades. They were on the outside of the malls, and people would come in specifically for those anchor stores, and then they would walk through the whole mall. Malls are closing. Strip centers are closing down. So if a strip center closes down and there's a Macy's store in that, obviously they're going away too. So it's more. I think it's deeper than just why isn't that store closing. There could be outside influences. You mentioned insurance, and it could be regionalization. It could be the economy of that area, all kinds of things. But to your point, if this business model is about dollars per square inch, so if they're going to make more dollars per square inch on less stores, then in my opinion, the business is healthy.
Yeah. And I think merchants are also looking at I think the metric dollar per square inch is important, but I think also you've got some more soft metrics about what does it do to the brand. How people, Best Buy is a good example, right? People are going to Best Buy to view the product, but they shop on bestbuy.com, right? So what is the function of the store? And I think as store evolve, maybe they get some more footprint, they get more like the showroom type style, whatever. But I think we're just continuing in the transformation of the store, and I think there's a lot of bright light for store in the years to come. So I know we're already has been some time there. So why don't we start getting into the next?
Yeah, I know we don't take too much of your
topic.
time. Thank you again for tuning in. But I wanted to call out something. I know we have to wrap this up soon, but like I read an article on Live Me Up. It's a brand that I follow through, and they work in the home shopping space or the live shopping space. And they kicked out their 2024 stats about live shopping in the U.S. specifically. And they called out very, very healthy numbers. 15 minutes per session are the consumer is watching live shopping in the U.S. 15 minutes per session, 15% conversion rate, which I think is 10 times more than e-com alone. 15% conversion rate up, which equals $12 per viewer in revenue. So their stories are basically everything that we talk about each week. Live shopping is continuing to grow. It's big in Europe. It's becoming bigger and bigger here in the U.S. And I think to our point earlier, if you're not already in the live shopping space and you want to evolve your business, you have to consider live shopping as being one of those new outliers for your business to grow.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest, right? I don't think last year there was any week where we didn't hear about a brand like crossing the million in video commerce live shopping, especially on TikTok. So yes, there's definitely some headwind there. Another since we're talking about other brand, there's this brand so OM, which is a platform that is backed by Excel brand, which is a very known public company that has a portfolio of many brands that are going to QVC, has built their own platform called ORMS. And I got the information recently that they were going and focusing more toward beauty, and I thought that was pretty exciting. This is an interesting platform to keep an eye on. I really wish those people all the best and all the luck, because I think they're really working hard to make it work, and their platform is pretty cool and pretty stunning. So I think, it's cool to see those platforms coming up and trying to provide different experience to meet different needs. I think we're in a very exciting time, and I think as Gary Vee say, 2025 is the year for live shopping.
Yeah. And speaking of that, I know we have to wrap up. Shout out is for QVC tomorrow has a 24-hour beauty event. So they're doing all kinds of education and personalization with customers throughout the day, coming into their studios to learn about best practices and how to use their beauty products on themselves. And then they have master classes in beauty that's going to be on air, and it's truly an educational platform. I think beauty is one of those, I'd say, top 3 in all of live commerce on best practices on how to educate her to help her make an informed decision. So tune into QVC at any point tomorrow, 24-hour event, beauty event. Maria McCool with a Callista product has today's special value. There's all kinds of great brands throughout the day. Master classes in beauty. You'll learn if you're interested in beauty and how to apply it and work for you. You'll learn a great deal on QVC tomorrow.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for being here. We are here every Friday. Thanks everyone. I heard from some commenters, comment that we have a really, really bad echo. Sorry for that. We will figure it out what that is. That's the unfortunate reality of live streaming. Sometimes everything works, and then for some reason, something doesn't work. So I guess we'll need to figure out what's happening. We are here every Friday. Thanks for being here. Comment, share, tell us what you would like to hear. And if you want to collaborate in the show and you have something very valuable for the live shopping space to bring on the table, please come reach out to us. We would love to hear from you. Maybe you'll join us on the show. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you again next Friday. Bye for now.
Bye.